Well, hello there. It's 28th of May 2021, day 58 of our crowdfunding campaign, where I'm trying to raise the incredible amount of £250,000 to make our sci-fi movie of Infinite Worlds. And this is a movie I'm so excited about. And we're doing this, I'm trying to do this initially by selling merchandising, okay? We have t-shirts and all that sort of thing on the website, but the thing that is selling best is our lovely souvenir mug. And it says, I backed the new movie of Infinite Worlds by buying a mug, and they're 20 quid. We get, once it's done and shipped and all that sort of thing, we get about £12. So they're doing really well. We sold 200 copies, but the idea was, sorry, 200 copies, and what we're talking about films. We sold 200 of these. But what my theory was, when I first started this, if there's somehow we could capture the imagination of the British public and we could sell 20,000 of these, that would fund the entire movie. Seriously, that would fund the whole thing. So that's something that I'm aiming for, and I'm on here until the end of next month, end of June, trying to do this. So if you want to buy a mug and chip in and support, that would be absolutely brilliant. But what I want to talk to you today is an area that I'm very fascinated by, and that is LED screen technology and Unreal Engine game technology. And people might go, what the hell's that? Okay, well, one of the ways that I'm planning to do this is very much like, if you've seen Star Wars The Mandalorian and the making of, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about here. But what they do in this epic multi-million-dollar Hollywood show is they built a thing called a volume, which is basically a huge stage with LED screens on the back. They've got them on the back, they've got them on the ceiling, and I believe they might have them on the floor as well. And the idea is, it's like walking into a giant TV set. You've got it all behind you. And what they do is they build their 3D worlds in a game engine technology called Unreal Engine, and they project it in the background. And then as the characters move around, they'll adjust the background to fit where the characters are. And the floor will have the floor on it. The screen behind will have the kind of background, and then there'll be a sky above. And then there'll be various screens around that project lights of the environment that they're showing. And this all works great on these multi-million-dollar productions. But you know, for us lower budget people, is this possible? Well, actually, it is. It is. Firstly, Unreal Engine, which is this 3D game engine software, has been around for I believe it's been around for about 10 to 12 years, and has really come on leaps and bounds. That is free. That is free. All you've got to do is learn it. So you get on it and you build your worlds, and then you project it on the screen behind you. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to afford a huge volume like they have in these multi-million-dollar Star Wars shows. But by being clever and using these projected backgrounds, you can build your own background, your own world in Unreal Engine. You can project it on an LED wall behind you, or even via a 4K digital projector, and then you have little bits of sets. So if you imagine, let's say we're in a restaurant, okay? You've built the restaurant inside Unreal Engine. You project the wall, and there's a couple sitting at a table here. You project the wall behind you that's there, and then you have a real table here. You might have another couple of tables here and here with other couples on, and then as you film it, you see as you look through the camera, you'll see the whole kind of setup. But the magic of this comes with some very special technology that goes between the camera and the background. Okay, now if you remember back in the sort of 60s and 70s, when James Bond would be driving his car and you'd have all these fantastic shots outside, then you cut to Sean Connery inside, and it would all be kind of back projected. So and it just looked a bit odd. It didn't look quite right. But you kind of had a road racing along behind you, but it didn't sort of gel in your mind. You knew it was fake. What's great about the technology now is, because you built a 3D world and it's projecting on the back screen, the camera and the two are linked together. So if you move the camera, the background kind of shifts in the same way. So if the camera moves over that way, for example, the background will move that way. But it creates a 3D parallax, and this is the missing link between the traditional back projection and modern back projection. So it's an absolutely fantastic way of working. And what they've done now with the actual 3D software is they use photorealistic images. So you might have a wall that looks very, very realistic there. And what's great about it is you can create the lights in lighting setup within the 3D environment. The screens are so bright, they project the light back into the image. So the light from the screens will hit the characters. And what this means is you don't need huge, massive lights like you used to use. You might have a bit of fill and a bit of stuff going on, and that's fine, but you don't need that kind of power that you would have used in traditional filmmaking. So it's a really, really fascinating technology, and I'd say to anyone interested in filmmaking, especially if you're into special effects and what have you, take a look at Unreal Engine. It is a bit complicated to learn, but I'm 55. I've kind of got my head around it now, and I can do the basic things. But you can create. It's just incredible, the worlds that we've created, all the spaceship interiors and things that we've built is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's probably a long one and a slightly complicated one today. But look, I'll be honest, we've raised about £25,000 or just over now. We've got a long way to go to get to 250. I would love to be in a position where we take on a big space somewhere. We either buy or rent one of these screens, and I'm not talking like a volume, I'm talking like basically a giant video wall. But I need backers to do that. So if anyone's out there, buying the mug is brilliant, because if we can sell 20,000 mugs, that will kind of really, really help. But if there's anyone out there with a bit of cash, wants to try an experiment and be part of something quite fantastic, and hopefully make your money back as well, and a bit more hopefully, give me a shout. It's it is experimental. There are certain financial risks involved, but if someone wants to come in with a smaller amount, that's brilliant. But anyway, come and join the party. It's going to be a fantastic film, and I've got other films that I want to do sort of straight after as well. So it's very, very exciting times. Anyway, bank holiday weekend this weekend. I'm going to be off for a few days, so I'll see you again next week. But thank you so much to everybody that has chipped in and bought mugs and t-shirts and put some money in. I mean, it's incredible. I'm so blown away and pleased and so excited to be doing this. And we're going to be shooting in the Midlands as well. So if you want to be part of something in the Midlands, come and join us. That's me on a long one today. So have a lovely weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week.